Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Couplepreneur Podcast.
Welcome!
I'm Adam.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are back for another episode of Walk and Talk. Let's do it. Okay, Maggie, we have just had a wild day on the back of a wild week. Starting off with today, we went and gave a presentation in Wichita about LinkedIn to a room full of incredible business owners. It was super inspiring. Eva joined us.
She did great.
And she crushed it. Maggie, you went to a book club this morning.
Yes, that was fun.
And it was incredible. This whole week, we've been delivering content. We've been building super incredible, complicated AI workflows. We're going to go into all of it today on this episode of the Walk and Talk. All right. Starting with, what would you like to start with, Maggie?
Let's start with today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today. This morning.
Yeah.
We got in the car. Eva does not like driving, so we were a little bit apprehensive.
She's getting better.
5 minutes in, she fell asleep. So we had 45-minute drive to Wichita. Beautiful, blissful peace.
Blissful peace. Love it.
We get to Wichita to go to this book club where you guys are doing the...
It was for The Thread, which is the women's collective that I always talk about. Shout out. You're amazing. All the people. And so, yeah, it was a book club for the book by Mel Robbins called The Let Them Theory. But it was actually in... One of my most favorite parts about this actually was the location, because it was in the Commerce Club, which is a what is it? It's a space.
It's like a remote,
spaces?
Office space type thing. Incredible, beautiful.
Beautiful.
It made me want to move to Wichita and get an office there.
Yeah, and go and just have fun being in this collective office space.
Shout out to
community.
Maggie Smith, the new general manager over at the Commerce Club.
Yeah.
You're doing something right. That place is incredible.
Yeah. And okay, one fun thing about today was the things that you do online in that space, and then all of it kind of coming full circle and then seeing things in person. So yeah, shout out to Maggie Smith, because we had chatted with her about LinkedIn earlier in the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, earlier in the week. And then she was talking about the Commerce Club and how all the work she's doing with them. And then we got to see it. So that was really fun. And it's beautiful. So
yeah, that beautiful blending of online and offline and how it all kind of plays together and amplifies the other. Because if you didn't have those experiences online, then you could quickly dive into being friends when you meet in person. Because you're like, I've been following your content forever. I know exactly what you do.
Yeah. Anyway.
Roji didn't get a skunk, did he?
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, golly. So Maggie, let's
really
jump back
cool.
to the book club real quick.
Yeah.
What were some takeaways, or what was the main thrust of the book first? And then what was the book club like? Paint me a picture. Were you all around a table, in a room? How many women were there? What was it?
Yeah. So if you've watched our other Walk and Talk, I had said that I had already read the whole book before the book club happened. So yes, I read the whole book, but it was a room full of, 30 women, do you think? Around a really huge table. We pushed tons of tables together in a really big open space. And yeah, so the Let Them Theory is really all about releasing your control in relationship and with other people, and then doing that first step of letting people be themselves. Let them do their thing, and then let me do my thing. And so that's the second piece, is let me, and recognizing the, kind of self-empowerment within that space. And one of my biggest takeaways is, not trying to micromanage life, but to really trust life, and to recognize when you're trying to make situations or other people different so that you can feel better.
So trying to fix other people so that you don't have to fix yourself?
Or I need you to stop doing that so that I can feel better. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Instead of just being open and being you can do you.
You do you, brother.
It doesn't need to affect how I feel.
Yeah.
So,
the lesson that I learned,
which is hard sometimes.
We went and like we're talking as a group, and I got to talk with some of the other women's.
Uh-huh.
The lesson that I heard everyone take away with is don't try and fix your husbands. And I think that was an incredible little insight. And something
You're like,
that I'm
on board.
I'm great.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
I'm great. Let me do me. Let me do me. Okay.
But I think it's true. I don't know. I just think it's cool to come together as women and talk about some pretty deep stuff, and to be able to have spaces that feel safe and open, and just like where people are able to feel safe sharing things, but knowing that you have a group of other people listening to anything that you say. I just think that those kind of spaces are really valuable to participate in.
Mm-hmm.
And also that they're happening, and just to see those things happening makes my heart happy. So anyway.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what did you do while I was in the book club?
So I was giving a presentation I wasn't giving the presentation yet, but later on in the day, I was going to be giving a presentation. So I was hanging out with Eva.
That was awesome.
Meandering around the Commerce Club, and then finding a corner and frantically trying to finish my slides. And my last,
let's be real,
the finishing touch on like the email automation that I was setting up to deliver some goodies to our killer business owners that we were presenting to.
Cool.
And so I was testing it out and like trying to like submit all these emails, and then like it was getting stuck, and I was like, so I was like freaking out as Eva's like crawling away from me. But we did it. We got it. We got it.
So awesome.
So yeah, that was an incredible event.
Yeah.
It like a little taste of the business scene of downtown Wichita. Is just
it's just really
cool.
Fun.
It's just very cool.
And then it was really fun because we didn't think that this was going to happen, but Adam's speaking gig was just a few blocks away from where my book club was. So
we could just walk.
Yeah, we could just walk. And I don't know, that just made the whole day feel so fun and serendipitous in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So then we got a chance to go give a talk. And this is actually kind of a cool lesson that I'm learning myself is like the more you do one thing, like the more you get an opportunity to tweak, improve, iterate on, and then also just get more confident in whatever it is that you're doing. So to put that into concrete terms, I gave a presentation 2 weeks ago to a room full of like B2B service professionals and again, business owners and it was entitled How to Get Leads on LinkedIn, a Meaningful Outreach Framework B2B Playbook. So that talk was all about how we are using LinkedIn and help our clients use LinkedIn and think about it in terms of strategically expanding your network, aligning your profile, creating content, so on and so forth. And it was an okay talk. I mean, I thought it was great.
It was awesome.
It was good enough to where one of the participants was like, hey, you should come give that talk to my group of business owners. So it's good enough there. But what's cool is that, it was a good talk. But then when I was able to do it again, I went back through the slides. I added more nuance because I had seen where the audience was kind of like interested, what questions they had afterwards. How could I address those in the presentation? How could I get more clear? How could I provide more examples? Like more actual, like one of the things we talk about is how to have like a direct message conversation that ultimately leads to, jumping on a call and being able to like provide value and consult and ultimately sell your product. And so I was like, well, let me just go ahead and grab a conversation that we had with a prospect, and we'll throw it in there. And that way we could just go line by line and show exactly how it was we're doing it. So all that to be said, it was just cool to be able to give what was essentially the same presentation again, but then to see how much it elevated by doing it. And so then what I'm looking for now in business, but also just kind of in life is like, what are those things that we can do and then build upon rather than just do once and then throw away.
Right.
So like, what are the things that we can get those compounding effects with? So maybe it's like presentations that we're giving, or maybe it's just really quality pieces of pillar content that like actually educate and provide a ton of value. And you could just continue to elevate and use them over and over again, not because you're lazy, but because you want to improve the product, the experience, the outcome.
Yeah. And that's
overall.
one thing we were talking about even in the car today, was we were recognizing that we've been writing newsletters now. And you were like, whoa, I went back and read one of our first newsletters and, and it's like that thing where, when you choose something to continue to iterate on, you're going to get better.
Yeah.
You're going to get better at it.
So that was cool. And then a fun little, like, I've been wanting to do this for so long, but what I did was, so I wanted to, after the point of the speech, I wanted to present in a way that built confidence and trust in like who we were and the value that we could provide. But then you have to do some sort of like call to actions. Like, what's the next step for someone who is, watching the presentation that would help them? Like, where are they at now? It's like, through this presentation, I'm going to teach them. They're going to get to a point where they are at X. How can I get them to Y? How can I help them to do that? That's the whole point of business, solving problems.
Right.
Now we've identified they have this problem. So, and one of the ways we want to do that is like, is to get their email. So that way we can continue to like send, emails and email marketing. And this is just like this thing that I've been like understanding is so powerful, but I couldn't quite understand it or grasp it. So last night at like 11 o'clock at night, Maggie was kind enough to get the kiddos to bed. And I built my first lead capture landing page, email sequence, and visual automation in Kit to send them a follow-up email after the presentation with 2 of our favorite custom AI GPTs that help make content so much easier. And I positioned our facelift as being valuable. I gave a dollar value to it. And I literally had one of the business owners be like, oh, that, like, just ascribing a dollar value to that one-on-one consultation made it immediately valuable to her. And she's like, this is so cool. You're giving me essentially $350 today.
Right.
And I also teased it because I just said there's also a secret bonus that's worth $350.
Oh, yeah, you did.
So they didn't actually know what it was. And then I was like, well, maybe I should like push it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I was like, oh, we have been learning a lot. We've been learning a lot, and to finally see things click. And so then I went and took that URL for the landing page, threw it in this URL shortener, created a QR code, stuck it on the slides. And then at the end of the presentation, I was like, hey guys, freebies. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. So I went ahead and curated this, and also included a freebie for $350 just as a thank you. You can scan this QR code. I'll take you right to it. Put in your email. I'll send it over to you. And we got email signups.
Yay! It works.
It was just amazing. It was just so cool. I was like, oh, I kind of get it now. Like, you just, I don't know. It's just something about it clicked in a way that I was like, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah.
Yes. More of this.
Well, it's like things that you watch other people do that you're like, okay. And then you like actually do it for yourself. And you're like, what? That's how you do that.
That's how you do it. And oh yeah, I was way overthinking this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool.
For sure. That's so funny.
So Maggie, when I was giving the presentation, what were you up to?
So
schmoozing with everybody? Building connections, relationships?
Well, I was recognizing that the group of people that we were with, just how amazing they all were. As business owners and people who were being coached by Lee, and got to know her and what she does. And it was just really inspiring. And everyone was really there to learn and to better themselves. And it's fun walking into a room of people that you don't know and then leaving just a few hours later feeling just like, yeah, we're all just people. And everyone was so friendly. Everyone's so friendly and so nice. And it's just really fun to be in those kind of spaces where, yeah, you realize community is everywhere. And, yeah, it was just really uplifting. At the end, we all got into a group together, into a circle, and it was, the wiffle. And what did we say? I would like to express.
What I feel like expressing.
What I feel like expressing. I love that. And then everybody did, and it was just so fun to hear what everyone wanted to say and what was on their mind and how much the presentation impacted them, or just how much
the number of people that said what I feel like expressing was that I learned a lot from Adam's presentation.
That's really cool.
Oh, and I got to be like, we did also like, what were the highlights or what were the key takeaways?
Yeah.
And I was like up there. It was just, it was cool to see people like resonate with what we were teaching.
Yeah.
And I found out, I think I'm a teacher. I think I enjoy teaching. I think I enjoy breaking down complicated ideas.
You're really, really good at that.
And then making them feel achievable.
Yes. And to be able to understand what, it's making them seem achievable. So that's what I was doing. I was also feeding Eva and taking care of her.
Yes.
But it was
like
really
an awesome mother, person, human being, just crushing it.
It was really fun. I love that we took her, and she was great. And I went on a little walk with her because we needed to move the car. Then I ran into some people.
Some friends. It's cool, like that idea of being in the shop.
Just fun.
Like the serendipity of people everywhere.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was really fun. And it was a beautiful day, and that always makes things easier too. And it's just a nice day. It's not raining or anything like that. And they fed us. That's always fun.
So let's
Eva,
take a step back a little bit. It's been a while since we've done these little walk and talks.
Here you go.
When's your banana?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while since we did one of these walk and talks. And we just recorded an episode, a Couplepreneur episode with our good friends, Tori and Dustin Anderson, Point West Creative. We got to do it in person because they're here in Hutchinson. And it was, again, cool to kind of have that connection with other couples. I've done a couple interviews with some really incredible creators and just subject matter experts, if you will, on LinkedIn about video, about just like thinking about social media, about graphics, all that. But I just wanted to point out, it's been a while since you and I sat down to record a conversation about the things that we're doing and building.
Yeah.
And how I miss that because I really like you.
It's really fun.
And I like the intentionality of these conversations. So,
I do too.
So tell me and I know the answer to this. So, like, what has it felt like over the past couple weeks?
What has it felt like? Oh, a little bit like walking through mud. A little bit. Kind of with, I don't know, just a little bit in a fog, but then finding your way and being like, yes.
I think mud is actually a really good analogy for it. And bear with me for a second. So when you're in mud, it's like every step is hard. Everything, it just feels like it's like, I just can't quite go. But the thing about mud is like you're pulling on your foot. You can't get it to go. But when it finally goes and pulls free of that mud, it just like all of a sudden like a huge step forward. And you're like, whoa. Yeah. And then you get stuck again. And so it just feels like these big like, like bursts of like, oh wait, it clicks. And then it's like, okay, but now it's hard. And it's like, oh, it moves. And it's hard. But what we discovered in a weird way is that like our story, when we encapsulate the totality of the story of everything that we've done in our lives, like we have this track record of like living a dynamic and inspiring and successful life. And sometimes when we're in a challenging position like now where we're building this new company, it can be easy to forget to bring in the success that you felt and the opportunity that you've had through the years.
Yeah.
And to use that to reinforce this one small piece of what we're doing might be challenging, but that doesn't mean that like we are struggling.
Right.
Or that we don't know how to run a business. Like we've built successful businesses.
Right.
And this one is like, we're starting to see like the wheels turn, and it's just like, oh yes, this is what it feels like to like embody that like vibrancy, that simple framework that we talked about a long time ago.
Yeah.
Seeking vitality,
honestly,
inner awareness. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
Meaningful
relationships.
Pursue creativity.
Live dynamically and embrace thriving.
And that's what we're doing.
And I think that it is also a little bit like the analogy too of building muscles, which honestly, I think that the past several weeks, you and I have gotten into just, I don't know, we've been physically more intentional. A little bit more physically intentional with our exercising, things like that. Not that we...
Because I'm back in 75 hard.
Adam's back in 75 hard.
And it is hard with a baby.
And I think we're always... we have always kind of have a... what's it called? We make sure to keep physical activity as an important part of our life always.
Because we seek vitality, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I think like I'm experimenting more with like strength training and doing things like that.
Versus just yoga.
Versus just like, and cardio and things like that.
So by the way, this is Moji's friends, Carmela and Annie. And they love each other.
They see each other every time they walk. Hi, friends. This
is why Moji wants to go on walks with us. So we can go hang out with his crew.
Yes. But I think that in the spirit of lifting weights and strength training, essentially that's kind of where we are at with business too. Hey
Jay, how are you?
Hey girls.
Went back around. You never know.
They are so funny. I love it.
Emoji.
But in the spirit of strength training and that analogy too, I think that that's kind of also what we're feeling a little bit, is that we're building muscles and we're building new muscles.
And you're starting to like, oh wait, I can lift what used to be like my max.
Yeah.
Now feels a little bit easier. It's lighter. It's, oh my gosh, these things work.
But for a little while, it's we're doing some heavy lifting and we're feeling a little sore and we're like, but at the same time, we're gaining muscle and we're, and also that just takes time and consistency. And it also takes those rest days. And it takes those days where you need to just step back for a little bit and get a little perspective and then go right back in and go hard and, so... Yeah.
Cool. Well, we made it back to our beautiful home. We're going to go pick up our son, Arlo. He's asked that I say his name in the podcast sometimes because we always say Eva, but we don't say Arlo. So hi, Arlo.
You're the best, Arlo.
We're going to go pick him up from school. I did want to take a moment and shout out to King Solar for our awesome solar panels. In fact, Arlo and I installed those back in 2020 during lockdown. And it was so much fun. But SAF Digital, we're green, baby. Green, baby.
We're green. We're powered by the sun.
And I don't have a full time to do it, but a little teaser. We are going to do a walkthrough of our backyard studio space where we do kind of our office area. And so just to give you a little idea, it's over here, right over there. So that will be coming up on the next episode of the Couplepreneur. Thank you guys so much for going on this walk with us today as we talked about kind of just how things are finally starting to click. We say that multiple times and there will be challenges ahead. But yeah, just to remember that there's there's an opportunity to live a more dynamic and fulfilling and just beautiful life. And part of that just comes through like recognition and gratitude.
Yeah.
For this.
For life.
Look at this. Like it's like the sun's coming out. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I think it's also the meshing of these two worlds of really dabbling in the digital world and the online space, and then also being present in your life outside of that. But then the beauty and the magic that happens when those, you know, cross paths, and it's just really cool.
Yep. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Until next week, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Couplepreneur Podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Maggie.
All right. Stay simple.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth.